You get 3 rolls on this dice tower here, and I have 8 random questions, and whatever 3 questions you roll, that is where we start.
Okay. Okay, how do I use this contraption? Just do that?
Yeah. Oh, wonderful
4.
job. And number 4, this is a nice one to start with. It's just bucket list. I want something that still remains on your acting bucket list.
On my acting bucket list?
Yes.
Comedy. More comedy.
Okay, I'll take more comedy.
What else? I feel like I've done it all.
Honestly,
I feel like I have.
That is a question that we'll get to eventually, because one thing I really admire about your filmography is the variety on it.
Thank you.
I mean it.
I guess it's time for me to do a movie where I don't say one word. I think that's a bucket list thing. If you can carry a movie without saying anything, just using this. I'd like to put it to the test.
Okay.
I'll put them to the test.
I'm here for that challenge. I have a feeling you could crush that as well.
Thanks.
All right, second roll of 3. Oh, this is a fun one. This is everyday things.
Okay.
I want to know a seemingly simple everyday thing that a human being does that's most difficult to replicate on set as an actor.
Oh
Things
my
like
God.
fake waking up, fake sneezing.
Oh, I can.
Well,
I have COVID. No, I'm just kidding.
no, don't say it.
No, I can do that. I think laughing is really tough.
Mm-hmm.
I think really, if you can tell a fake laugh a mile away. I mean,
I've heard that one.
don't you think?
Yeah.
And you fake laugh?
No, without it, no.
I mean, you're doing it this whole time.
This is one of the most scarring experiences I've ever had. There's not an ounce of me that can do what you do. Acting scares the shit out of me.
Really?
I had to do an ad for something once where, I do interviews that play before the trailers in the movies, and they did an ad once, and the direction was they needed cutaways of me laughing and being scared, and I was so embarrassed, and I was so bad.
Can I hear your best fake laugh or your best laugh?
My problem with laughing, too, is when you get me truly laughing. My version of a belly laugh is that silent laugh where, you're not making...
the gasping
where
air?
you're not making sound and, you can't breathe. So, when you know I'm enjoying a movie when you could see me doing, the shoulder shake.
Yeah, falling off the couch.
That's my laugh, yes.
I love that.
That's what I do. I have an answer for this question, or a question that pertains to what could be an answer to this one for you later on.
Okay.
That I hope I remember I'm making this reference now so I can bring it up later.
If I can remember what you just
I'm curious if you could pick it up when I ask the question.
Okay.
But for now, third and final roll in the tower, number 6. This is a meaty one, high-low. Can you give me an audition high, something that still has a big place in your heart, but then also not necessarily an audition low, but something you learned in the audition space that then came in handy on future auditions?
Oh, man. Audition high. I love auditioning, first of all.
Ooh.
I love going into the room. I think when you're a new actor, it's this is a 2-minute play that's starring me that you have to watch. And you're not doing a lot of acting in the beginning of your career, so it's I get to do something. And I like being in the room. I have a lot of energy. I'm a freak. I love it. I love auditioning.
I like hearing that.
The Zoom audition, I would say my high would be auditioning for Robert Rodriguez for Alita Battle Angel.
Literally just standing on that set the other day.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Troublemaker.
Yeah.
Oh my
they
God,
did
the
the
best place on
Fantastic
earth.
Fest closing night party there, and it's an incredible,
It's amazing.
incredible space.
He's used it again.
Yeah.
In other things, but I love that. I love that set. I love that whole experience. But that audition, I don't know. I think when you know a part resonates with you and you're that's mine, you go in with this confidence that is just so sexy that you're just I don't care. I'm going to just do what I do. And then afterwards, Robert was there was a bunch of pile of headshots, and he was, someone told me I should work with you, Rosa. Yeah, someone told me, and I was I agree. And I walked out of there why would I say that? That is so schmaltzy, but we ended up
You knew it was true.
working together. And I think the low is just Zoom auditions in general. I think it's especially when you're pitching a comedy or doing a scene that requires laughter and everyone's just muted, and it falls like a lead balloon. It's the worst feeling. And then you shut your laptop and stand up and put pants on, and you got to move on with your day.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back for a new edition of Collider Ladies Night. been eager to get Rosa Salazar on the show for many years now.
Yes, I love to hear that.
We've been talking for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first time we met was on the set of Maze Runner Scorch Trials.
Yes.
This was one of my, not my first set visit, but it was one of the earliest ones I ever did.
Oh my God. Well, congratulations. We should be doing an overview of you.
Nobody wants to hear that.
It's time. I'd like to hear
The
it.
overview of me exists already all over the internet. You could literally just like pave the way through all of my videos that are out there.
That's great.
We are here to celebrate your wonderful filmography.
Thank you.
And specifically to celebrate the release of Play Dirty. Huge congratulations on the movie.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
What is the movie you saw, the performance you saw, the personal experience you had, whatever it may be that first made you say to yourself, I absolutely need to be an actor?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I kind of came right out like, hello, world. And my mom used to stand me on the table in my patent leather shoes, and I would just dance around in a circle. I think I always had to do it. But early on, I mean, I was watching things I shouldn't have watched at a very early age. And I always say this, it's so weird, but disclosure. I saw disclosure when I was my mom used to, it was the way we bonded. My mom used to take me to Video 95 to get a VHS cassette of a movie. Mm-hmm. I would pick out the box. She'd say, whatever you want, whatever rating you want. And it really gave me an education. I mean, it's weird to say that it's probably Ace Ventura and Disclosure combined, but
I think I can still quote like half of Ace Ventura at least.
Oh, it's the best. That and Austin Powers were like, I could just quote. I was just on a repeat doing those. And then I would say the third is probably The Wiz.
Oh, okay.
I love The Wiz.
What a variety there.
I know. Well, that's me. I'm like, it's a very elastic personality.
I love it. I love it. So you recognize the itch to become an actor early on. When you were very, very young at that time, what did you think was step one to becoming a working actor in Hollywood? And now having done it so successfully, would you recommend that as a first step to an aspiring actor out there?
Oh my gosh, it's such an interesting question. What did I recognize as the first step? I mean, I think I just recognized theater as the first step. And as a small child, I was doing community theater and I was going to camps. And I think in my mind, I thought you had to have, and I think it's right, you have to have an arsenal of different talents and skills and interests. Just an arsenal of different things you can do. I mean, you saw that Academy Award nominatable sneeze earlier. That is something I worked on.
I've heard many sneezes on this show. That skyrockets to the top of the list.
Oh, thank you. But I think it's that. I think I thought you need to have a big bag of tricks, weird ones, and make yourself the most interesting person possible. And I think that's why when I was emancipated at 15, and so like college wasn't really a thing for me. I didn't know how to fill out a FAFSA. So I was just like, I'll go and learn the world. Like I'll go to France. I'll go all around the States. So I bounced around for a couple years after I graduated high school, just getting experiences. I think that is the most important thing in my opinion. And also just learn another language, one more language.
I wish.
Yeah.
I tried so hard.
You can do it.
I failed miserably.
Immerse yourself.
I don't know. I think I tried so hard by studying in like a formal school setting, and then I never actually used it. So just couldn't.
You have to be in it. If you can't say, I need to use the bathroom in Spanish when you're in Mexico, you're going to learn because you got to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then the advice part of it, I think the advice I give to every young actor is don't.
Oh.
Don't do it.
My heart.
Because, well, there's a method to this. Because if they say, okay, then it's not, they don't have that crazy burning resolve to be an actor that you need to have in a business that is constantly telling you not to do it. So that's the first bit of advice. But then if they're like, yeah, what's the next bit of advice? Then I'm like, okay, here's the real advice. Like take classes, take every class, learn things, go many, many different places. You know, like just get as many experiences, talk to as many people as you can. And I think that's really important.
I have so many follow-up questions.
Okay.
I hope I can remember them all. Going back to the idea of having many skills, what was the weirdest skill that you had on like the special skills section of your headshot resume?
Oh my God. My first resume is, I hope, maybe I should leak it because it's ridiculous. It's so dumb. It's like, I put Ken in front of everything. can cartwheel, comma, can back bend walk over, can whistle.
Every character counts. Why were you doing that?
Can do this. That was my very, very first when I was 12. I wasn't even in the business. I had a resume, never saw the light of day. But I don't know if I have any weird skills that I can do in public. But I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer to that. I think I'm just generally pretty weird.
What's your weirdest skill now?
I don't know if rock climbing is weird.
That's cool.
I don't know if violin playing is weird.
Also cool.
But I can do that. But weird.
If you could learn a new skill through a role, what skill would you pick and why?
I would like to be fluent in Spanish. And I think if someone gave me the opportunity to do that, I could do that very well. I'm very good at languages, and I speak French fluently. So I think it's just a hop, skip, and a jump. And when I was shooting in Mexico City, I was fluent. So I think you really need to just be immersed in the culture. And
I got to take a cue from you.
Yeah.
Instead, just try again and then go there. So another follow-up that came to mind, you mentioned classes before, and I'm obsessed with the variety of acting techniques out there. Have you taken any, formal classes? And if so, what was it like finding the techniques that worked best for you?
I got really lucky. Yes, I've taken classes. I was very, very poor when I lived in New York. I moved from D.C. to New York with my pit bull, and I did not have an apartment. I moved there, and I, slept in the back of the U-Haul, and I, found a place in Harlem somehow, because it was the only place I knew in New York. I was like, Harlem, that's a place. And so I lived there, and I was, dirt poor. I worked 3 jobs, and I Googled acting classes, affordable, and HB Studio popped up, which is the best kept secret in acting. It's a small conservatory in Greenwich Village, so beautiful. It was started by Herbert Berghoff and Uta Hagen, and I put myself through my own curriculum. I paid per class, and then I auditioned into their summer intensive, and I still speak to my teacher, Carol Rosenfeld, to this day. Every project I get, I talk to her about the character. I just got so lucky because that technique really spoke to me. There are certain exercises like being alone. How do you be alone when 50 people are watching you? So we had these exercises where we would do activities alone on stage silently and try to make it as organic and believable as if you were alone. Or we would do an exercise like this where I'm speaking but no one's there and the audience is there in the fourth wall and I have to be speaking to someone believably. I mean, it's just these very tactile sense memory. It just really spoke to me right off the bat. And
what is the key to being alone?
I think being calming yourself down and being in your head like you normally are every day. You're in your head, and these little quirks will come out naturally that send the signal that this is real, that this is authentic, this is organic. Little things you do when you're alone just naturally come out. And I think one thing is just calming yourself and then being in your thoughts.
Ugh, I love all that. I can talk about that kind of stuff all day long.
I can too. I love that stuff.
You also brought up that you're still working with Carol, I believe.
Carol Rosenfeld, what's up?
What is something about the way that she teaches and maybe gives you notes that really well aligns with how you like to receive feedback and then apply it to your performances?
She's no bullshit. She gives you the honest truth. She's not overly fluffy. She's not in it to get you, feeling like a star. She's there to really work on the nitty gritty. I remember one time she said, when you do this scene, next time, just there's a spot on the table and I really want you to pick at it. And that, just that little thing taught me so much about what you naturally, you're calming your body, bringing your body into it, getting out of your head and it's just, she's tough, but she's fair. And she's so insightful, and she's been doing it for decades.
Tough but fair.
Yeah, she's tough but fair. And I'm about to go see her in a production at HB Studios.
That's so wonderful.
Isn't that great?
That makes me so happy.
She's the best.
Just so people out there who know your work really well can look for an example like that in one of your films or shows. Is there any note you remember getting from her that helped you crack a character?
I really needed her help on Brand New Cherry Flavor because there are so many, it's so complicated. It's so chutes and ladders and you're shooting a show like that. It's block shot. It's like you're doing a part of episode 3 and while you're shooting episode 8, while you're shooting episode 1. And I just really needed certain moments. My character's high for a better part of the second episode. Just stuff like that. Just talking through how are you, like the normal process for a character, but also adding in all this like crazy supernatural stuff. And essentially it's no different is what I learned.
I'm so glad that show came
Being
up.
True.
Brand new cherry flavor is so good. Backing up a little bit, so you mentioned that you started in New York and you found a place to train there. Eventually, I know you did make the move to LA. What inspired you to make the move when you made that decision?
Well, going back to classes, I also did UCB. I did 4 years of UCB, and I was doing, stand-up in New York. I thought, I'm going to be a stand-up, but then, I wanted really to be an actress. Like, that's really what I wanted. And I started doing these comedy videos with CollegeHumor.com.
Yes.
Do you remember CollegeHumor?
Oh, yes.
I love them so much. Some of them are still my really, really close friends. You couldn't have that now. A Funny or Die or College Humor. It seems like you couldn't really do that now. And we're so lucky that was happening right when I was coming up. My audition for College Humor was insane. I dressed as a middle-aged clerical worker from Queens named Morty Munch. And I showed up as Morty Munch. I skateboarded there, and I had a mustache. And I got there. They were having a cattle call for women to be in these videos. And when I walked in, there were all these hot chicks with boobies and butts and just looking great. And I walked in a young man suit and a yellow shirt and a tie and a briefcase, and I had headshots made up as this man. But Sam Reich, the leader of the pack over there, was just falling over laughing and sent me the tape 4 years ago of that audition that happened in 2006.
Can you leak that too?
I would love to. Oh my God. I don't have any socials, but I'll send it to you probably.
Okay,
You can leak it. But anyway, that got me, in this great group of talented, ambitious people, driven people that were making videos, even not for the website. And a manager in LA randomly saw one of these. I think it was called Passport. I did it with Nick Ross. And signed me. And, he got me an audition. I flew to LA with the last $700 that I have. And I stayed at the Safari Inn right down the street.
My first trip here
No
before
way,
I moved,
really?
I lived in the Safari Inn
insane.
for 2 weeks.
I lived there for 2 weeks too. I loved it.
Listen, that hotel has a history, so something about it. I was real honored to say that I lived there for a period of time, but I'm glad to have an apartment now.
I got here and I was just I was New York through and through. I was like, no one's ever going to take me from New York. They have to take me kicking and screaming. And then I got here and I was like, I'm never going back.
I said the same
I'm
thing.
never going back there. I called a Salvation Army, and they came and they took everything in my apartment. Yeah, because I didn't want to deal with it. But so that's how I got here.
So I feel like a lot of people, when they make the move to Hollywood, especially to work in this industry and become an actor, they make the move here and then they picture something in their head. They have a very clear picture of what it's going to be like to move here and then make it. How did what wound up happening compared to what you pictured when you made the move?
I have a confidence about acting that I don't have about anything else in my life. Where my best friend Shannon could probably tell you this. We're sitting in the auditorium at high school, and it's a sort of a job orientation type thing. Think about what you want to do. And I was like, I already know. I'm going to skip. I'm going to go smoke weed. I already know. And she was like, are you sure? I'm like, I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly how it's going to happen. And I feel like it's all come true the way. So this is just, I feel like a lesson in manifestation.
Call this my manifestation space all the time, and I believe it to my core.
I think if you believe it, that is what happens. And it's so hard to change belief systems.
Yeah.
So I believe so much in that, and that happened, but I also believe these other things about myself, insecurities or whatever, and it's so hard to break it. But I can see that it works because for my whole life I was like, I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's also
fine.
this delusion of knowing that there's no other option too.
I can't do anything else.
I was going down this path no matter what. So
That's the
even if
beauty.
something rocked my confidence for a minute, I'm like, well, there's no other choice.
Well,
so
that goes back to the advice, right? It's like, I want to be an actor. What's your advice? Don't. It sounds harsh, but it's like if someone's willing to go, oh, okay, I'll be a whatever, then you don't want it that enough that qualifies you to do this job that is full of rejection and full of opinions, where it's front-facing. Like, I don't even like being front-facing, but I love acting. So, that's a sacrifice we make. But yes, that's
a fascinating thing to judge.
It's tough.
I think about it with your line of work, and in particular what I do all the time, because an actor who can come in here and articulate how you do this, in my mind, seemingly impossible craft. Like, I am in awe of anyone who can act, but then also explain how to act.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm in awe of anyone who can truly be themselves in any situation, especially this situation. We're talking to a million different personalities, big personalities all the time.
Ladies' night is my safe space. Yeah. All of my favorites come in here.
Ladies' night is everybody's safe space.
That is the goal. That is the goal. Let's get into some titles here. First one on my list is what I believe is your first recurring role on a series that I love, love, love. It's American Horror Story.
Oh, yeah.
What were you thinking?
Parenthood.
Oh, well, Parenthood too. American Horror Story before Parenthood, though?
So I moved, going back to your question, like how does it look the same or as you wish? I thought, I'll just move to LA and I'll start working. And then I did. But I also auditioned a lot.
Yes.
But I got pinned for American Horror Story and Parenthood on the same day.
So opposite.
And I was like, I wasn't expecting that. But I was ready. I was ready to come here and do it.
What a combo of things.
I love American Horror Story. I'm on the very first episode ever.
Yeah. So I have questions about that because I vividly, I'm a horror lover. I'll watch any movie, any show. It doesn't matter the genre, but there's no denying the fact that horror is number one in my heart. I'll never forget when that show started and it was like, what is this? We've never really seen anything quite like this on TV before. So given the fact that you were in the first season, what is the biggest difference between what you thought that show was when you booked the role and what it turned out to be when you actually made it?
Well, it's so crazy because it's become this empire. I mean, it's so expansive now. And when we were first doing it, it just felt like this weird sort of student filmy, let's try anything. Ryan Murphy's so experimental. So it's awesome to be around him and to it felt like this smaller, more niche, Tales from the Crypt kind of thing. And then it became so widely embraced, I think, because everybody loves horror. Everyone, especially our generation, we came up on it,
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh my God, I have so many. Well, I like L'Intérieur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
I
French
will take
film
that, yes.
from 2007. It's so incredible. When someone says they like horror, I sit them down and I show them just that 1 minute scene where there's people's faces melting off and there's people are cutting into other people. It's like the sound alone, the score alone is so fear-inducing that it's my favorite. I like anything that can get me to feel that way.
There's a lot of extreme international horror that when
Martyrs.
So that's mine. That's mine
yours?
when I say, well, it's not my favorite scary movie, but that's probably one of the very first scary movies that I ever watched that I walked away thinking I'm so incredibly unsettled that I don't ever have to. I admire it. It's a phenomenal film. I don't ever have to watch that again.
Yeah.
I was very sad for a week after watching Martyrs.
L'Intérieur's Inside.
Yeah.
For English speakers.
So good.
Also, The Ring. Come on.
Yeah.
The Ring is so good.
A classic.
And I feel like that gave another bump. It was horror was sort of waning, and then it was The Ring. And then it was boom. It was back in a big way.
Have you done a straight horror movie?
No, I thought, here's the thing about careers. I thought I would come, this is a good answer actually to your question, an actual answer, because I just sort of sidestepped it. I thought I would come here and be in comedies and horror movies. And I have been jumping off stuff and shooting guns for the last 15 years.
It is true.
And I love that. I definitely thought that would do some of that. But it's just, it's the way that they see you is so different from the way you are in private or who you really are. And I'll take it.
That's kind of the beauty of your line of work, too.
I love it. You can do anything, but horror is Rosemary's Baby. I learned so much from Rosemary's Baby, even the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Obviously, Child's Play is hilarious. I love them all.
I miss B-roll. There's not enough B-roll
It's not
anymore.
enough B-roll.
Well, usually, like back in the day, like when I first started doing this line of work, you would get your big EPK package, and there would be B-roll, and I would be like the weirdo sitting at home watching 20 minutes of like B-roll with no explanation, just watching people operate on a set, and that's what it brought me. It's true. I don't think I'd be able to do this without an understanding of that.
Honestly, yeah.
So American Horror Story and Parenthood, those were the first two big projects, and I feel like the first big projects can make a big impression on someone. So what would you say were some takeaways from working on those that maybe influenced how you operated on sets and the projects you chose after?
Well, being around, so first of all, being on a show that's so established like Parenthood, like you're watching all of these actors at the top of their game doing this day in, day out. And I think I just sort of tried to emulate them. You know, Erica Christensen, who is one of my favorite people on earth, she was just so welcoming and she wasn't uptight. She was so warm and sort of like, hey, yeah, you know, right off the bat, that's like a good example of like, this is play. You know, this isn't rocket science. This is play and you can love it. I feel like you need permission sometimes because it can be scary and it can also be like daunting. Like you're going to get here at 4 a.m. and you're going to go to the NBC Universal lot, you know, like that's something you've read about. And you're going to sit next to Erica, swim fan. Hello.
Swim fan.
Swim fan.
It's a classic.
That's a classic.
I can watch it over and over
Me
still.
too. And then you're going to have someone in your face like all morning and then, you know, like, oh, I have acne or like, it's just like she brought a calm to it that's like, no, like, you're good. And right off the bat, it's such a good lesson to learn because you can get paired with someone who's not like that.
Well.
And then that's your example. But yeah, and also the pace of TV is it's so fast, especially Parenthood because they have 3 cameras. They're like, we're done. Like, oh my God. So really get it in there when you can, you know, for the people who aren't going to do a lot of takes. But it just also reminded me that it's going to be like so sick to be in this business. It's like exactly what I want to do. And then American Horror Story was like, they were letting me do my own stunts. I was like, this is great. But I also got a bruise the size of America on my ass from doing that. And I was like, okay, that's a good lesson. Let's put a pad down. Nothing wrong with putting a pad down.
I have a question about Play Dirty that leans into exactly
I love that.
We will get there.
Okay.
So those were the first big TV experiences. I want to move into the first studio films you did. And I'm really curious about that. I already brought up that I first met you on the set of a Maze Runner movie. And then on top of that, you had Insurgent as well. And those were 2 of the hottest YA film franchises at the time. So it was just making me curious. Do both of those come your way as a coincidence, or are you being encouraged to audition for those types of films at that time?
Well, that's what was hot at the time. And I think that was allowing a lot of actors an entree into the business. You know, it was an expansive world with a lot of characters. So yeah, that's what was available at the time. But also I think I have this bravado that sort of precedes me, I think, even though I'm like a tiny little girl, everyone can see me with a gun. So I you know, I'm very athletic, and I think I have this sort of intensity that really lends itself to these characters. I mean,
perfect for those 2 franchises. My God.
Yeah, and I don't know, I'm game for anything. I think I come in strong, and I'm really game for anything. And I think they're like, oh, obviously, it's just like it was just perfect fit, perfect time, just like CollegeHumor in New York, and it just kind of hit right at the right time.
So you learn all these lessons on American Horror Story and Parenthood, but I am curious because the studio filmmaking experience is entirely different. What would you say surprised you most about that particular process?
Budget. It's huge. It's huge. And there's so many people. I mean, everything I've done in that action space led me to Alita because the crews just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can really get used to that life because, you know, independent film is just, it's 10 people and we're all moving chairs, you know, and on a big studio picture, it's like you're very well taken care of. There's so much, there's food and gravity and people and stunt coordinators, and you can talk to anyone, you know, and there's so much help and budget. I mean, it just looks so expansive on screen. But there's also like I have a deep love for those smaller movies where you're like changing in a van and it's hot and you're doing your own makeup and you're producing it and you're just at all hands on deck. I think, I have a love for both, and it's nice to have the perspective of both. It's like I can feel grateful when I'm on a big set, and I can feel like, yes, I'm doing this on a small set.
Ugh, that Scorch Trials set was something else.
It was huge.
I'll never forget what that looked like. And
Things
also,
they let us do
is something else. And I'm just still to this day a massive admirer of Wes Ball. It's like, if anybody in this business gets resources like that, give it to him, because he'll make sure that you see every single penny on screen in the finished product.
Well, do you know how he got the job?
Yeah, his short film.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I
Ruin.
can't believe. Yes, Ruin.
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
He came in with a book of hand-painted scenery for the movie, and he was like, and they're like, you should direct this.
Yeah.
And they were right.
He knows what he's doing.
He's
and now watching him
incredibly
thrive
talented.
with the Apes franchise, like his skill set is so perfectly aligned with what those movies
Best
require.
ape movie, I'm sorry.
I have a big place in my heart for it. I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah.
So you brought up Alita, so I'll just go there next.
I'm always
so,
bringing up Alita.
I mean, good on you. You should be very proud of that movie. And listen, I wish that franchise got to continue on and on.
It still might.
I'll take that. I mean, he's got the set there.
He's got the set.
I'll follow
We'll
up.
have Cameron just as soon as this next Avatar.
I'll follow up on that point. I don't know how much you'll tell me in a moment, but I do want to emphasize how special it is to have a movie like that spark such like passion from a fan base that, like, for years now, every single time Alita comes up, there's people flooding the comments at like, when? Like, we're not letting this go. We need more story. And I don't blame them. I want
Me
more.
either. I'm like, keep going. I'm one of those. I'm all the bots online doing that.
No, you're not. I know that's not true. But I'm glad to hear the enthusiasm from you as well.
It's the best. I mean, it's just the best. You have James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez, who are friends, who are making this thing together. All the love is there. You have an amazing script. You have an amazing graphics team like Weta. Well, that's what I was saying. It's like there was this huge team on Scorch Trials and Insurgent and Death Cure and all of that. But then when you get to Alita, it's like literally 4 times that size, because you have Weta and you have a normal crew, and then you have like welders. You have like thousands of people working on this thing, and it all comes down to this moment between two. It's just so amazing. I love a collaborative process, and it's just like to be able to do it on that scale.
When you have crews of that size, I am so in awe of a director who could be like the conductor of so many people in so many departments and make it feel cohesive in the end.
Well, you've got the man who made El Mariachi. So you have a guy who can literally cut the ends off of film and make a film, do drug trials so that he could actually make that short film, making this massive film. So it felt like we were still all hands on deck while also making this incredibly massive film, but also just means so much to me. The books mean so much to me. The character means so much to me. I have such a love for her. I wrote this like treatment for Alita too, like right after the film, and I sent it to James Cameron. He was like, "This is so cool!" Like, he's James Cameron.
Can you tell me anything about it? Like, no.
It probably won't be the one that we shoot, but I'm like an avid fan of those books that I couldn't help myself.
I love that.
And I thought, this will be fun.
Yeah.
For an afternoon.
Before I look to the future then with Alita, I want to go back because, again, you did a Maze Runner movie. You did 2 Maze Runner movies. You did Insurgent. And then you get your opportunity to headline your own studio film. Like, what did that mean to you? Was that just the most validating thing in the world to be the title character in a film like that?
Validating for about 3 seconds, and you're like, I'm so nervous.
I respect that. I understand.
It's such a big responsibility.
Yeah.
But I knew I could do it. I was also ready to do it. I think I don't know where that confidence comes from. I mean, because it's really, really relegated to this career and like nothing else in my life. But I'm getting more and more confident in other things. But in acting, I'm like, I can do this. I mean, from the first moment I read the script, I'm like, I can do this. I can bring this home for you. So I was like, yes. Yeah, because like the audition process is its own like 3-month battle. It could have gone either way. So then you're nervous a little bit, and then you're like, let's go, let's get to work. Because I know the moment we get to work, all of those nerves will go away.
Was there a particular moment on set when you did something and you knew to your core, like she's mine. I'm her, and nobody else could be?
I think it was during the audition process. I think it was just that last final audition with Robert where I had the time and the space and the attention to really say, like, this is who I think she is. This is who I think she is, and to me, she'll always be this. And I think he's, okay, she has a clear vision of who this person is, and it jives with mine. So from that moment on, we're smooth sailing.
You're so special.
I just love hanging out with Robert, too. I think that was also a part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
I can understand that.
We get along really well, so... let's do Latinos in the mix. Let's
Listen,
go.
I felt very at home on the Troublemaker Studio set. So,
he's the best.
I can understand why you'd want to hang out there. Now, going back to what you said before, when I mentioned, you only had one and you're like, well, maybe not. Like, how would your response to that have differed, like, any other year? Like, is there any reason you respond that way right now? Is it different than years prior?
How?
Like, it might not be the end.
Oh,
I've always felt like that? Always been saying that?
I've always felt like that. Every step of the way, I just felt like, you have these two filmmakers who, I think they made something very special. I think we all made something very special. But I also think, James likes to make people wait. And I like that.
Oh, that's fair.
I like that. Why not? And I think the fervor has only grown. I mean, there's all the Alita army fans. They came to see my play at Pasadena Playhouse. I did Cyrano de Bergerac, a very antiquated play, and these people showed up. So I think they're still rooting for it. They're still rooting for me, and I haven't counted anything out yet.
That is such a big deal. Like, that's the coolest thing, to be able to take, like, one property and use it to introduce people to something that they might not have experienced at all.
That's true.
It is really cool.
Thanks.
So, jumping from that to another franchise that, like, you were kind of a part of. I'm very curious to hear about the Captain America Brave New World experience.
Oh, that's so interesting, right?
I don't even know where to start. I guess I have to ask, what happened? How does something like that play out from your perspective?
Well, I'm just a hired gun in that situation. The call came in, I answered. My friend Julius Ona was directing it. I think there were some, films don't always come out the way you think they're going to come out. And you need to tool. Sometimes you need to cut this, you need to do that. So I take zero personally in this business, because if I did, I would not be this pretty. But I think that it just wasn't working. And there was a whole faction of, like, villains that it was me and it was, 3 other brilliant people. I think that the film wanted to be something else. I mean, I remember, this is a very small thing compared to that, but when I made my short film, I based it around this one scene that I thought was hilarious and didn't make it in. We had Cynthia Stevenson in that, and it just didn't make it in. It just wanted to be something else. So I think it's just that.
Yeah.
I think it just wanted to be something else.
Well, I'm not going to lie. When I heard you were cast in the movie, I'll always see a Marvel movie, but it did up my anticipation.
Thanks.
Does something like that still leave you with, like, the door cracked open? Like, is there a possibility for you to return or make your official debut?
Well, I think so. I mean, I'm not in it at all. So it's kind of the best case scenario, because I could be anything. I could be an even better character. So I don't know. I think, look, jobs, they're jobs. And you know what I mean? And, like, then you have Undone and something like Alita that come along, and that's like your heart. That's like, or Parenthood. Like, that's your heart. And Parenthood, by the way, was 1 episode. And I was so grateful for that 1 episode. And then they're like, we think we're going to do 3. And I was like, what the? That's
so cool.
We're going to do 3 of these? And they're like, we think we're going to do 6. I'm like, oh, I'm grateful for anything that comes my way. And it ended up being 13 episodes. So, like, my first job. So, things happen that you don't expect. Good, bad. You just got to roll with it and just be grateful for the stuff you got. And that's it.
'Tis the only way to thrive and forge forward in this industry.
Right.
I talk about it all the time when it comes to box office, because, like, I know this is the reality of the situation. My brain can't compute the business side existing with the art, and it breaks my heart into a million pieces when a movie I love doesn't do well at the box office, and I fear, I'm projecting this on them, but I fear that the artists who made that thing are less proud of it because it didn't do well. I lay awake at night thinking about scenarios like that.
It's the friction of our business. It's so fraught, and there are these rare moments where everything lines up, and we're all just striving for that, right? But for me, I just want to make sure I'm doing the best job with this character, and I don't think about anything else. You know, it's hard for me to even watch a movie that I'm in. I mean, we talked about this a little bit. You know, it's like it's so dissociating to see yourself on screen, and you know, you're thinking about like, what am I doing with my mouth? Why am I blinking so much? What's that hand doing?
Yeah.
It's really tough to watch it. So like for me, the moment is what I thrive on. That and the paycheck. But like obviously, but like the moments and the character and the process, like I used to think that was BS when people said it in an interview, but it's true. It's like that's your gold.
Yeah.
Like that's the fun part. And then this part, I actually also like press.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That makes me really happy to hear.
Why not?
I feel like I just always assume that it's the part of the process that nobody wants to have to jump into.
I don't know why. It's like you don't like talking to people?
Again, Ladies' Night is a safe space. I try to make it a space where, you know, it's maybe not as creatively fulfilling as making the thing, but at least it makes you, like the goal of Ladies' Night is always to make someone even more proud of the work they've done.
I mean, this is the other half of the job. It's like I did this thing, now go see it. Especially now.
It's true.
Everyone's watching TikTok,
it's true.
so
There's a lot of stuff out there, and you gotta break through a lot to get your thing the audience that it deserves.
But I think with streaming, it's great because people that didn't see Alita in theaters, tisk, first of all, but second of all, they can watch it.
It's true.
They can actually enjoy it at home.
Well, there's so many times where, you know, whether it's a show that was on network TV or even a movie like that winds up on a streaming platform, and all of a sudden you see like the response to it spike, and then something can come back.
That's totally Undone.
Undone. That's another one that
People come up to me all the time. They're like, I love Undone.
I wish it could have gone on forever and ever.
The best.
I was so impressed by that show.
Thanks.
Really.
It's one of my favorite things I've ever done.
I don't blame you.
My friends know that that's hard for me to say, but it was just so amazing on all levels. The process, the product, the reception, the press, like it just felt, the people. I mean, I just saw Angelique, who plays my sister.
So good.
2 days ago, you know, I just celebrated Constance Marie's 60th with her. Luna Marie, who played me, her daughter. I'm still friends with her. So it's just, when you have something that is very special, it only comes around like 2 or 3 times in your career, if you're lucky.
It makes me so happy to hear.
Thanks.
I feel like the only one that I didn't name drop before we get into Play Dirty is Night Owls.
Night Owls. Oh my God, I remember.
What was that, South by Southwest?
Yeah.
I remember covering that.
Yeah.
Did I interview you?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I feel like I was probably running around with a little camcorder at that time, too. And now look how things have changed.
I love Collider in general. All of you guys are amazing. You've always been very supportive of me, and I love that.
You deserve it. You deserve
Thanks.
it. All right. Play Dirty. First, I want to go back to signing on for this.
Yeah.
What was it about this script, and maybe the character in particular, that made you stop and say to yourself, I have something to gain from this as an actor who is always looking to evolve my craft?
2 words, Shane Black.
I get it.
Period. The script was so good. It was just like, it's just everything I've done in my career led me to this. I really feel like that. It was a total graduation for me from where I started, you know, Insurgent. Then everything was sort of like a bump up. And Play Dirty just like encapsulated all of the tricks that I learned, you know, all the gunplay, all of the quippy language and the athleticism. It just, and that serious nature. I mean, she's the most serious of all of the characters. So it really felt like a culmination of everything that I've done in my career. So I was like, again, felt ready. I was like, I can do this.
She's the most serious, but you get a couple good laughs.
Yeah, I do. Like,
what part am I thinking? Now I'm going to spoil it for people, but there's a part that I'm thinking of where it's like 3 of you and you're like walking out of a room really slow, like one by one, and it's just being dragged on forever, but it gets funnier and funnier every single time it goes.
I forget. The laugh that I heard that I wasn't expecting at the premiere in New York was, this guy goes, oh, well, just kill me already. And I go, okay. And he's just dead. But that is Shane Black humor to a T. And I just like loved slipping that on. I
So
just loved it.
his style of humor and his way of directing action too. It's like very one of a kind him.
Totally.
What is something about the way he directs his actors and leads a set that speaks to that singularity? Why he's able to create this style that is so uniquely his own?
He's so singular. And there's no disconnect between who he is and his talent and getting it on paper. Like, I can be really funny, in an afternoon, but like if translating that into actual, script language would be very difficult for me. And he just has that. He's so dialogue, he's a dialogue genius. And it's just who he is. He is so incredibly funny. And also he's just very sweet. He's just a very sweet guy. And he lets us play.
Good pairing of qualities.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I love him.
I'm going to get into the play in a moment. First, I just want to focus on your character because I love asking actors for their aha moment when tackling a new character, because someone was recently explaining to me when you jump into a new role, you're kind of on unsteady ground at first, and then all of a sudden, like you think of that thing or you do that thing and you know to your core, I have just found who they are. Did you have that with Zen, and if so, when?
I did. Well, first of all, the name itself is sort of like, oh, okay, that's a big clue. I'm very like blah, 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 blah. I'm very loud. I'm very boisterous. I'm very energetic. I'm making a scene everywhere I go. I'm embarrassing everyone I know. Thank you for still being my friend. But with Zen, it's a contained chaos that only comes out in these moments. And, just like, I can't give anything away, but there's a scene very early on.
Yes.
Where you think she's just
You tricked me.
Right?
You tricked me. I knew nothing about this movie and you tricked me.
That is the goal with Zen, is sort of to be shifty and sort of like, who is she? Where did this person come from? You're not expecting her at all. And that is the greatest strength. I play a lot of poker, and that's also my strength at the table, is to be, sort of be a snake in the grass. Like, here's this little girl who just sat down to play, and being underestimated, being overlooked. Like that's my greatest, trick.
I'm so glad you brought up poker, because it immediately, remember earlier on during Dicey Questions when I'm like, I have a question that aligns with the everyday thing, and that brought me right back to it.
Yeah.
What is it like being an actor and playing lying, where you have to convincingly get other characters to believe what you want your character? Now I'm like tripping all over it. I can't even articulate a question about it. That's why it's so hard. What is it like playing a character who needs to sell one agenda, but deep down the audience can still feel that their intentions lie elsewhere?
Well, that's what we do every day, don't we?
But it's like extra layers.
It's extra layers, right? But it's whatever meets the moment. But it could be, with Zen, it was just that first heist is just, I'm part of the guys. I'm just doing this thing with you guys, and and there's nothing special about me, and that's when you get them. It's sort of like tamping down. It's like levels, right? I always think about acting as a mixing board, and you just bring a little bit of this up, and you bring a little bit of this down. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but that's how I think about it.
I feel like the second you called it a mixing board and I could picture something, I'm like, I get that more now. Yeah. I get it more now. I couldn't do it, but at least I get it. I have to talk about your ensemble here.
Okay.
So good. And I told you earlier, I'm obsessed with the variety of acting techniques out there, so I'm going to lean into that with this question. Of everybody in the Play Dirty ensemble, can you pinpoint the two cast members with the most polar opposite approaches to their work, where when you're their primary scene partner, you're going to have a different acting experience?
Oh, okay, yes. Lakeith, definitely.
He is something else.
Exactly. You don't know what to expect from take to take with him, and it keeps you fresh, and it keeps you in your character, keeps you responding honestly, and it's terrifying, and I love it. Well, I mean, like, wow, polar opposites, that would be definitely one.
He's another one that's just so singular in this
I
industry.
Love him so much. We've been friends for a long time, and he's just the best.
He does the same thing in the interview setting. Every single time I talk to him, dude keeps me on my toes like no one else.
I could see him totally being like, no.
I've been there before. I've been there.
He's like that, but different approach. I don't know. I would really pinpoint him as the main person that would like throw me off, but in a good way.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like doing scenes when the entire ensemble is together?
So fun.
Like some of the stuff in particular in the apartment, I'm like where do you even focus? How do you keep your head straight in a moment like that? Or is it a situation where like it is kind of broken down into everybody's singles enough that you have that kind of focus that way?
Well, luckily you've been on set for 10 hours already, so that helps. But then you just bite the inside of your mouth when Michael Key is doing something incredibly ridiculous.
He's
the
another one.
funniest person on earth.
I adore
love him so much. Claire was amazing as well. His like partner, Chai Hansen. I mean, you have all of these amazing new like faces that I feel like haven't like they really need to get more play. I mean, they're not new, but
Well, she was one that got that reaction out of me where I'm like, like that's some screen presence. Who is that? And all of a sudden, I'm learning everything I possibly can about her.
she's amazing.
Yeah, she really was something
Yeah.
else. I was very, very impressed. I was also really impressed by the stunts here, and I think we brought this up earlier, and I wanted to come back to it because I heard you mention this in another interview as well, where you were explaining that there were parts of this movie where you had to decide whether you would take the opportunity to do a stunt yourself or know where to draw the line and pass it over to a stunt professional. Can you give me an example of each? A time when you knew you had to do something, even if it was maybe a little extreme, but then also a time where doing it yourself would have crossed a line that wouldn't be good for you or the film.
That's every stunt. Every stunt is like that, actually. Well, all of the gun work, I knew I had to do myself. The gun is right here, and it's lining up with your face.
Yep.
Like, all of that stuff, I wanted to be very proficient at it. They had this amazing trainer. I'm forgetting his name right now, but he's equivalent to Navy SEAL in Australia, and where we shot it. And he just, drilled me on gun stuff, loading a mag, clearing rooms, just all of it. All of the guns that I had to use. I used semi-automatic. I used 9. I use a bunch of
You
guns.
got to do that with like peak confidence too.
Thanks.
Like it always impresses me when you play a character like this, and I have to believe like you're not just doing it for the scene, but this is a person who has done it for like most of her life.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, always need a refresher every time. Like, I don't really handle guns outside of work.
That's like when I think about learning a language in school. It was like
practice.
I would study so hard, but when the test was over, it was like poof, gone. And I
gone.
imagine with stunt training, it could be the same type of thing.
Oh yeah, but when you're going to be immortalized on film, you really work at it hard. There's that, but then there are things like flying. I get slapped and I have to fly across a bed and roll on the ground, and I just thought, I don't know about that one because, first of all, stunt performers get paid per stunt. That's the first thing. So whenever an actor's like, I do my own stunts, I'm like, well, then that stunt performer didn't make any money. They get paid per stunt. So that's the first thing. So anything I can give to my stunt actor, first of all, they're going to make me look way better than I'm going to look. And they're going to get paid. So why would I risk breaking my tailbone? You know what I mean? When this is their job and this is what they do. So there were scenes like that I was just like, I don't know. But I have the scene in a cabin where I'm shooting a lot of people. I had to do that. And I had to do it in my underwear. So I really wanted to be confident doing that. And I had to do that because it's not like you could just replace me with her. I mean, I guess now you probably could. But there are, it's my body. It's a little tough. But there was one, this isn't really pertaining to your question, but there was one stunt that I did that I had to do where I'm driving and I'm shooting through the back window of a Jeep with a semi-automatic rifle. I don't think it's a semi-automatic. What is that called? Anyway, they'll know. I was shooting it gangster style, and Shane was like, maybe shoot it normal, not like a gangster. And I literally couldn't do it. I'm from D.C., so I couldn't do it. But while I was doing that, a shell hopped out and it got lodged in my ski suit that I'm wearing, my jacket, and I couldn't get it out, and it burned. I don't even know if it's still there. No, it's not there anymore, but it burned my chest so bad.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that's when that was a stunt that, I guess that was a stunt that kind of hurt. Yeah.
I'll ask about one other stunt. I have to let you go soon before I get to my last ladies' night question. The one other piece that really fascinated me, and I'm curious to hear about what it was like actually doing this. There's a particular part in the movie where it's kind of like a car chase and a car accident. I'm just curious about all the reaction shots. Like, are you just sitting in a car at a point and someone's shouting at you and like, look that way and be terrified at that? Now you're flipping over.
Yeah. Those scenes where you're like, whoa, this is so crazy. Oh my God, this like intense, propulsive action scene. You're really just on a stage, and the car is in a lock position, and some guy is like just pushing it back and forth, so it looks like we're driving. And honestly, that's the real acting.
Movie magic
That's
like
really
that
hard to do.
fascinates. It thinking about stuff like that always reminds me of voice acting efforts. Like that seems like the toughest thing.
So many of those.
It's just like you have to really sell action while just standing there and not having the real stuff all around you. I can't even imagine.
That's how you get the biggest headache ever.
I bet.
Is voice. I don't know why, but the voice acting is so incredibly draining. I've done a lot of that. And the efforts, I did Arkham Asylum.
Oh, yeah.
And I played Copperhead, and it was all like, ugh. It was a lot of that.
I'll ask one voice acting effort question. What effort comes the most naturally to you where it's just a breeze? But then I also want to know what is the most difficult one to get done believably.
I mean, it's just the sheer repetition of it. Like you know, like getting hit is really easy to me, but like weirdly hitting is more difficult. And like I don't know, it's just so difficult.
Is it the same when it comes to live action stunts? Is it easier to sell landing a punch or taking a punch?
I think landing a punch. Because taking a punch, your head does this weird thing where it sort of snaps back. But you know, most people just do that. But it does this weird like jump effect. But Mark Wahlberg, you know, he reminded me of the old adage, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. That's all you need to make an action movie.
Oh, that's the key.
Well, yeah, because you want to do everything. If you have a sequence like, you know, the one in the cabin, you want to do everything very quickly.
Yeah.
Because you think that doing it very quickly makes it look like you're more proficient. But it's not true. You look more sloppy if you go too quick. So
not the same level, but whenever they build like a press stunt where they have us reenact an action scene, like I always look ridiculous because I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Like, what was step 1 and 2 and 3 and 4? And I'm trying to get through it all before I forget the last step.
Well, that's
and
so
I look
funny
ridiculous.
You say boom, 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 because a lot of people who shoot guns, they go bang, bang, bang. It's the lightsaber thing. Vroom, vroom.
Or like, who was it in, I think it's Last Jedi. Now I feel bad if I'm not right, but I feel like it was Laura Dern where she's holding a blaster and like you could see her mouth pew.
It's so hard. It's so hard to not do that. So that's why we had gas. We had a gas gun. So it's like it makes a sound and it makes a movement, but there's no cartridges. There's no. It's very effective.
Oh, I could see that.
And that felt safe and good. Everyone was so incredibly, you know, hyper vigilant about it. We have a lot of guns in this. It was very safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I end every single episode of the show with this particular question because I find that in film and television, we're really good at giving each other awards. And I think that's great. I think we should keep doing that. But I find that nobody says good job to themselves as much as they should. So I want you to tell me something you accomplished making Play Dirty that you know you're always going to look back on and say, you know what? I'm real proud of what I did there.
I'm so proud of myself. For all of the things that I had to do for Play Dirty, I'm so proud that I got in shape. I'm so proud that I ran an 8-minute mile.
Hey.
That was insane. I was telling everyone, I mean, people can do way better than that.
8's not easy.
But it's so incredibly hard, and I felt so accomplished. I'm so proud that I was able to not snack for that long because I love to eat. And I'm happy I got in shape. And I'm happy that I felt confident up against one of the greatest action stars of all time, Mark Wahlberg. Like, I'm glad that I could stand toe-to-toe with him and feel confident in my body and in my heart. And I love this exercise because it's so easy to default into a bad headspace.
It is. That's why I started asking the question, because I can't do that. I'll think about 100 questions that I've asked, and the only one I'll remember is the one that I didn't articulate as well as I could have. And
yeah, you only remember that one guy's comment.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
That's absurd. We should all be proud of ourselves because we do good work. And this is a wonderful space that fills my movie-loving heart so much. So.
I love film. It's my favorite thing. I did something. I wore the dress I auditioned in that I got the part in. I did that for you.
Wait, that dress?
I wore this dress to the audition.
That full circle element is making me really happy right now. I love it.
I did it for you, Perry.
I love that. I love you. I love
you.
your filmography.
Thank
Please
you.
come back to Ladies Night. So many questions that I didn't get to, but I know there's going to be many opportunities to celebrate
long-winded.
more of your work.
We're going to do it again.
Long-winded with purpose, which is all I want on this show. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So nice to see you.